All right, welcome to the Experience Better video podcast series. I'm Josh Beekler, a PT.
I'm Adam Leeds, a physical therapist as well.
So this week, Adam, we better talk about hip flexors and Husker kickers and what in the world's going on with these hip flexors. So Barrett Pickering 3 weeks ago or so suffered a hip flexor injury of some kind. You know, we don't know the extent of it, and we can only speculate as the rest of Husker Nation, but. We have a somewhat informed opinion, so let's talk a little about what do we know about hip flexor injuries and how that they could impact somebody returning to sport and recovering and those kinds of things.
Yep.
So tell what's the anatomy of the hip flexors? What's kind of the normal?
So hip flexors, the muscle on the front side of your thigh. So if you feel the hip bone right on the front side of your hip, that's right below that is what's called the hip flexor. It's collectively made up of a couple different muscles. The main one is your rectus femoris. That's kind of what we think of for like a kicker. That's more than likely the rectus femoris.
Sure.
The other one is your iliopsoas. So it's two different muscles that kind of come into one, and it originates on the front side of your femur, which is your upper leg bone or your thigh bone, and then it inserts on your low back. Where the rectus femoris, which is one of your quadricep muscles, so it helps kick your leg out straight, but it also inserts higher up on the ASIS in addition to like its lower insertion point on the femur. And so that's what would kick your leg forward with your knee straight.
Sure.
So that's how you differentiate between the two, and I'm sure that they've done lots of testing and stuff on him, is if you have pain with your leg straight, lifting your leg straight up in the air, so if you're lifting your leg up in the air like this, or if you're lifting your leg up like this, here, rectus femoris, here is more that iliopsoas muscle.
Right, yep, very good. So, you know, what's tough about this injury in particular is that, you know, when you're all those muscles really tie into kind of your core.
Yep.
And really are powerful muscles. They're postural muscles, so they're on all the time, no matter basically what you're doing, sitting, standing, going to stand up, going to sit down, walking. I mean, every time you take a step, when you advance that leg forward, you're shortening that muscle, but when you step with the other leg, you're actually stretching that muscle. So it's always on a little bit. It's always either moving something or preventing something from moving so far. So it's, as opposed to like maybe an ankle or a knee, you can't really immobilize it and really give it that time to rest. And the other thing that's tough with a hip flexor is, you always want to try to, return to sport and all those kinds of things, and it's very, very easy to re-aggravate just from the nature of how powerful the muscle is and how powerful you need to use it in order to do something like kicking or anything like that.
So. And that seems to be the case, what's going on here, where it's kind of a nagging injury. I guess they said that it bothered him a little bit throughout fall camp, and then got to the point where, I mean, they're not going out and having him kick 100 ball. I mean, these coaches are smart. It's just that he goes in, it's one spot, and boom, it's back down to square one where it's sore again.
So really shutting him down for 4, 6, maybe even 8 weeks is maybe even like a realistic thing we're looking at. So
unfortunately.
May have several more weeks of some different
That's right.
challenges and different things to try.
Throw a couple other guys out in the fire and see who can kick the ball.
Get the soccer club involved. And,
exactly, yeah. It's a little bit ridiculous, so hopefully none of these games come down to needing to make a kick again.
That's right. So speaking of that, we got Illinois coming up this weekend. You got any predictions?
Hopefully Huskers roll.
Absolutely. I think
offense looked decent, much improved against Northern Illinois. Defense continues to be solid.
I agree.
Pass defense, rush defense, everything.
I think it's going to be 41-14. I'm expecting a big win.
I can see that. Yeah, I'll one up you. I'll go 45-20.
There you go.
How's that sound?
Well, that would take. See, I took into account we're going to miss one extra point. You got a field goal or two.
There we go. That's right. We got one field goal, 6 for 6 on extra points.
Well, I think the advice I have for you now, Adam, is to get your boys knowing Isaiah kicking.
I know, right?
Tie their hands to their sides and make them do everything with their feet, eating, whatever, picking up things with their toes, whatever they got to do. So
we'll see how they go.
That's right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.